The reason for this issue is the AAP government in Delhi, before stepping down from power, deciding to file a FIR against Mukesh Ambani, the Minister of Petroleum, as well as a range of officials in the Petroleum Ministry, for having had let Reliance increase the price of natural gas that would be drilled by them at this place that is called the Krishna Godavari Basin region, from $4.2 per million British thermal units to $8.4 per million British thermal units. And they feel there is something fishy about it. And the reason for that fishiness is a plain simple one. In 2004, when this agreement was done for the first time, the price was $1 per million British thermal units. And now when we are talking about this in 2014, we are talking about a price of 8.4. Why did the price keep on increasing and how have different people perspectivized on it is one part of the story. The second part of the second big part of the story was that ज्यावेळेला ती $1 ला fix up केली गेली, त्यावेळेला the agreement between RIL and the government of India was that this price would stay to be $1 for the next 17 years. And it would be revised only after the next 17 years are done. For the first 17 years, it would stay at $1 per million British thermal units. And now it has been taken to 8.4. And Reliance has come up with a range of reasons as to why has this become 8.4. And there is a lot of counter questioning which is going on into all of this, की जे काही claims केले गेलेले आहेत ते claims कितपत वैध आहेत, हे असं घडू शकत नाही. People have gone to the extent of alleging that what Reliance is technically doing is it is threatening with something called as hoarding up of gas. And if you don't give them a better price, they are going to continue to hold on to this gas till they don't get a better price. How are they going to get a better price? They would get a better price if the government agrees to a better price. Natural gas is an intermediary for a range of things, from transport to fertilizers, and no government can afford in the Indian context to sit on that huge an amount of gas without paying the due price for it. So त्यांची अशी अपेक्षा आहे की बाबा at some point of time or the other they would get a price which is determined by Reliance. There's a lot fishy about all of this. The 8.4 ची जी price आहे, the price is what Reliance goes about fixing up after it has something called as a Rangarajan committee, which was established by the Ministry of Petroleum to talk to Reliance and find out as to what is a better price. And it's a Rangarajan committee which gives this go ahead, saying this that the price can be fixed to 8.4. AAP did this in the last phase. AAP did it at a point of time when AAP was very clear about this, कि AAP's Jan Lokpal bill will never be passed by the Delhi Assembly. So ज्यावेळेला त्यांना हे खूप क्लिअर झालं की कुठल्याही स्थितीमध्ये हे बिल पास होऊ शकत नाही, त्या पॉइंट ऑफ टाइमला AAP went about playing this game, saying this that ki what we need to do is we need to try to project ourselves as better martyrs to the cause. And what better martyrs to the cause than trying to prove this that the Congress and the BJP are parties sold out to Reliance and they can never be better guardians of what is called as national interest. Natural gas that Reliance has gone about fixing the price at 8.4 and the government has agreed to the price at 8.4 is what is technically called as a national resource. Karan, this is not what Reliance is producing. Reliance anyway produces nothing. So it's basically a natural resource. It's a natural resource and it's a national resource. There's a whole slew of court cases which have ensued out of all of this. On one hand, you have the communists who are alleging complete fraud in all of this. And there is an interview by Gurudas Dasgupta, who was actually the person who came up with this game much before Kejriwal did something about it. So Kejriwalni he FIR file करण्याच्या आधी, if there was somebody who was persistently working with this issue, it was Gurudas Dasgupta who was working with that issue. त्याच्यामुळे, and that's the reason why the frontline is interested in. The frontline is not interested because AAP did something. What AAP did, it becomes a pretext for the whole thing. But the frontline is fundamentally interested in this whole issue because the communists were already into the ring. So त्यांचं म्हणणं आहे की अर्थात ती जी काही जुनी लाईन घेऊन कंटिन्युअसली खेळत आहेत की आप बेसिकली अशा विषयांच्या भोवती राजकारण बांधू पाहतीये की जे विषय हे मुळात आमचे विषय आहेत, ज्या विषयांच्या बाबतीत मुळातच आम्ही मोर्चेबांधणी केलेली आहे, आम्ही त्याच्याबद्दल काहीतरी काम केलेलं आहे आणि त्या विषयांना घेऊन आप काम करू पाहतीये. सो याच्यामध्ये ती दासगुप्तांची मुलाखत आहे की ज्याच्यामध्ये दासगुप्ता हॅज बीन द वन हू हॅज बीन पर्सिस्टंटली बिहाइंड दिस, and Dasgupta alleges a complete fix-up between everybody concerned in terms of making this decision. So there are officials in the petroleum ministry. The petroleum minister himself has a role which possibly is not above suspicion. There are people all over the place. There are possibly people even in the judiciary. So we don't know for sure as to how would these petitions be finally disposed of. So आता जेवढ्याही petitions कोर्टांमध्ये या सगळ्या केसवरती घातलेल्या आहेत, या petitions dispose of कशा केल्या जाणार, we have no idea about that. What is going to happen to the FIR which has been filed up by AAP, we again have no idea about it. कारण आता त्या FIR ची जी काही विल्हेवाट लावायची ती दिल्लीचं प्रेझेंट गव्हर्नमेंट जे आहे which is headed by the लेफ्टनंट गव्हर्नर, त्यांनी जे काही करायचे ते करायचे. So all in all there is, if you are looking out for it, a wonderful well spiced and cooked up sort of thing. And anyway you are heading towards an election in which there are so many things which are so indecisive. So त्या अर्थाने election becomes that, काय त्याला आपण म्हणतो, कॉमन तंदूर ज्याच्यामध्ये जे जे काही शिजवता येईल ते सगळं शिजवून पाहावं, जे बरं होईल ते खाऊन घ्यावं, जे बरं नाही होणार त्याचं काय करायचं ते आपण नंतर बघू. सो त्या केसमध्ये यू हॅव आप, त्या केसमध्ये यू हॅव प्रॅक्टिकली एव्हरीबडी इन इट एक्सेप्ट फॉर द BJP अँड द काँग्रेस who are not taking any straight positions की त्यांचे एक्झॅक्टली RIL चे असलेले संबंध आहेत तर काय प्रकारचे. ओके, things get more complicated on account of the fact that RIL is a big conglomerate spread all over the place, having diverse interests and a certain sort of it's a certain sort of phase as far as Indian industry is concerned. So if you are looking at Indian industries seated from outside India, one of the big things that you would always be looking at is how is RIL performing. If RIL is doing good, well, everything is good. If RIL is not doing good, then there's something very fishy as far as India itself is concerned. So त्या अर्थाने you have everybody into it trying to get something or the other out of it, आणि one just doesn't know as to which way would this game pan out in the ultimate analysis. कारण this is not the first time that RIL has been charged with something. Reliance Industries has been charged with a number of things even in the past, and if you look at the history of whatever has happened in the past, RIL has more or less managed to sail through all of that. Would this round be a similar one? Well, we have no idea about that. पण त्याला जर दुसरा हे पाहिजे असेल, म्हणजे ऑल्टरनेटिव्ह पाहिजे असेल, आप alleges that there is a fraud. आप alleges की RIL has worked in a perfectly crony capitalist manner, and RIL is not the sort of capitalism that AAP would love to have. But for somebody like me, the permanent question that starts after that, if you look at whatever Kejriwal is talking of, की भारत सरकार नावाची कुठली गोष्ट अस्तित्वात नाहीये, जे काही अस्तित्वात आहे ते मुकेश अंबानी नावाची एक व्यक्ती अस्तित्वात आहे, आणि भारत सरकार ही एकंदरीत मुकेश अंबानी नावाच्या माणसांनी खरेदी केलेली काहीतरी एक त्याच्यासाठी काम करणारी एजन्सी आहे. ओके, माय फंडामेंटल प्रॉब्लेम व्हेन आय हिअर एव्हरीथिंग दॅट केजरीवाल सेज इज प्लेन अँड सिम्पल. व्हाय डजंट केजरीवाल टेक अ पोझिशन दॅट इफ आप कम्स इन टू पॉवर, आप वुड नॅशनलाइज ऑल RIL assets, ऑल, की RIL जेवढ्याही सेक्टर्समध्ये काम करती तेवढे सगळे सेक्टर्स वुड बी टेकन अवे, be it spectrum in 4G and all of that, be it ये कृष्णा गोदावरी बेसन वाला केस, be it the जामनगर ऑइल रिफायनरीज, सगळं. म्हणजे तुम्हाला जर असं म्हणायचं असेल की ते चोर आहेत आणि तुमचं जर असं म्हणणं असेल की त्यांच्या सगळ्या बिझनेस प्रॅक्टिसेस एकदम क्रुनी कॅपिटलिस्ट अशा प्रकारच्या आहेत, तर प्लेन सिम्पल आयडिया ना, म्हणजे अशा केसेसमध्ये द सिम्पलेस्ट थिंग दॅट कॅन बी डन इज टू टेक अ पॉलिटिकल पोझिशन. तुम्ही मला सत्ता द्या, मी तुम्हाला या चोरांकडनं सगळं वसूल करून देतो, आणि वसूल कसं करायचं, सिम्पल, यू डिक्लेअर की ऑल दीज ॲसेट्स हॅव बीन नॅशनलाइज्ड in national interest. Anyway, RIL is dealing with assets which are national and natural. So there is no harm in terms of moving ahead and saying this, that in public interest, the only safe thing that can be done is you cannot let a firm like RIL profiteer at the cost of the national exchequer or at the cost of national interest. So plain simple, we nationalize everything. So I don't know what stops Kejriwal from saying that. की काहीच हरकत नाही ना असं म्हणायला. इफ यू हॅव मेड सच अ सॅम्पल ऑफ देम की बाबा ते एकदम क्रुनी कॅपिटलिझमची केस आहे, ती एकदम केस आहे ऑफ अ कॅपिटलिझम विच इज एक्स्ट्रीमली फ्रॉडुलंट इन नेचर. हॅड आय बीन इन दिस पोझिशन आय वुड नेवर हॅव हॅड सेड एनिथिंग ऑफ दिस. आय वुड हॅव हॅड सेड अ प्लेन सिम्पल थिंग. People of India should vote me into power. I'll nationalize everything as far as RIL is concerned. Simple. I don't understand why isn't he saying that. And what exactly is he trying to do by trying to provoke them this way? की नाही करायला काय पाहिजे तर यांच्यामध्ये आपण लावून देऊ आणि त्यांनीच परस्परांमध्ये बघून घ्यावं की त्यांना काय करायचं. Which is not what is going to happen, because which is not what has ever happened in this country till date. म्हणजे big corporations, big conglomerates of the RIL variety do not budge because governments start having menacing positions about them. All that they do is they shift support. There's another interesting story which has been gradually developing कि Mukesh Ambani and the Congress fell foul of each other since 2009. A point of time when Pranab Mukherjee was the finance minister, and Pranav did everything possible to make life impossible for them. And the bigwigs in the Congress did not do anything to stop Pranav from whatever he is doing. For that matter of fact, they didn't stop Pranav from doing anything about anything. One of the reasons why they have this huge problem at their doorstep is precisely because they let Pranav have as much of autonomy in the finance ministry as is possible to go about messing up as many number of things as is possible and lead you towards the situation in which you as of now are. So त्यांचं बिचाऱ्यांचं म्हणणं असं आहे की अहो आम्ही त्यावेळेला कुणाच्याच बाबतीत काही केलं नाही. सो असं काही नाही की आम्ही तुमच्यावरती विशेष कृपा केली हे दाखवायला की आम्ही तुमच्या बाबतीत काही करत नाही. आम्ही बेसिकलीच कुणाच्या बाबतीत काही केलेलं नाही. त्यांचं म्हणणं आहे की सिन्स 2009 दिस रिलेशनशिप हॅज गॉन रॉंग अँड सिन्स 2010 Mukesh has been looking at a post-Congress dispensation in 2014 and he has been steadily working towards it. I don't know how many of you have managed to go through the articles. They have articles on a range of RIL concerns, SEZs, they सगळं petroleum refining, real estate developments, plus dispossession as far as farmers across Gujarat is concerned. And in addition to all of this, they have also talked about RIL's interest in something called as the media, which especially so close to this election is now one of the saddest stories which would be ever narrated after this election is done in May. That there was a systematic effort to drum up support, there was a systematic effort to create a public perception. That's a different story whether that public perception is going to stand or not stand. They would become clear only on the 16th of May when the votes would be tallied. But to is over hot nahi. So if you look at the present if you look at the present picture, there's one particular channel which is high as far as this whole activity is concerned, which is called as CNN IBN, which is called as IBN 7, and they are a business partner. I don't know what is that business channel called as, but it's called as so they TV 18 वाला तो क्या सगळा business है. Mukesh Ambani has acquired major stakes in TV 18 and has been for almost a year before all of this high on this whole thing. They keep on regularly performing something called as pre-election surveys. आणि ते खूप मजेदार सर्वे असतात. त्याच्यात ते बऱ्याच लोकांना बोलवतात. ती जी काही 5,000 लोकांना आम्ही जाऊन विचारून आलो, 10,000 लोकांना आम्ही जाऊन विचारून आलो आणि बघा तुम्हाला आता एवढीच सीटं मिळणार आहेत. ते त्या स्टाईलचे जे काही मूर्ख सर्वे असतात ते त्याच्यावरती रात्रभर चर्चा करत राहतात. अँड दे आर सिस्टमॅटिकली ट्राईंग टू क्रिएट अ परसेप्शन की दिस इज अ गव्हर्नमेंट दॅट हॅज वाउंड अप एव्हरीथिंग अँड देर इज लिटल होप ऑर रिडेम्पशन. इट्स गोइंग टू बी द वर्स्ट परफॉर्मेंस. इतना बुरा तो 1977 की इमरजेंसी के बाद भी नहीं किया. And at least on the face of it, there are people in the Congress who are so dumb-headed that they appear to be hit by a brick from the high heavens and move around in that manner which says कि पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है. So and no one knows कि why exactly is this happening and what exactly is coming out of all of this. So it seems that if at all there's somebody who gets highly damaged with all these charges, it's going to be the UP administration. भले ही there is no drilling which is going on in KG6. There is no gas which has been delivered. जेवढा गॅस प्रॉमिस केला गेलेला होता त्याच्या 18% गॅस इज व्हॉट हॅज बीन डिलिव्हर्ड. ओके. आणि तरी देखील देर इज दिस स्ट्रॉंग परसेप्शन की मनी हॅज एक्सचेंज्ड हँड्स and people have proven themselves to be irredeemably corrupt. So ultimately, if they fall in 2014, they would have had sacrificed themselves for somebody who had left them way back in 2009 itself. Okay, so one just doesn't understand this. Ki like, if in 2009 the relationship started souring, why should the Congress do everything possible to protect his interest after 2009? Okay, because anyway he is not going to give you anything. He is no longer interested in you. So why exactly were you trying to promote his interest is something that one just doesn't understand. More one feels ki is there something in terms of whatever RIL is saying की मुळात पहिली अग्रीमेंट जी झालेली होती सरकार बरोबर $1 वाली ती अग्रीमेंट एका अशा स्थितीमध्ये झालेली होती की जिथं वी डिड नॉट हॅव ॲडिक्वेट अमाऊंट ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन की केजी बेसनची गॅसची कपॅसिटी एक्झॅक्टली किती आहे. आणि इज दॅट पॉसिबल? वेल, इफ यू लुक ॲट द एनरॉन प्रोजेक्ट इन महाराष्ट्र दॅट इज डेफिनेटली पॉसिबल. कारण एनरॉन ही परफेक्टली त्याच प्रकारची केस होती ज्याच्यामध्ये यू हॅड सबसिक्वेंट काँग्रेस गव्हर्नमेंट सेइंग दिस दॅट आम्हाला सिरियसली माहित नव्हतं की नॅफ्ताची इंटरनॅशनल किंमत ही अशा पद्धतीने बदलत राहते. सो वी नेवर न्यू की दिस इज हाऊ थिंग्स आर गोइंग टू चेंज. सो is their ignorance bad enough? It's dangerous enough. Ki on one hand you are playing around with things that you are not even aware of ki uska potential kya hai. You are sequestering national assets, you are giving up natural resources in a situation ki jithe tumhala exactly he पण माहित नाही की त्याची कॉस्ट काय आहे. आणि in the absence of a transparent mechanism to deliver cost, given the fact that it's a private firm to which this has gone into, the charge of corruption will always be made against the government. You are not going to have a charge of corruption. No one made a charge of corruption against Enron. No one is going to make a charge of corruption against RIL. Okay, तो असाच उजळ माथ्याने फिरणारे, इथं बराच उजळ फोटो आहे त्याचा, आणि तो असाच तुम्हाला सगळ्या कार्यक्रमांमध्ये दिसणार आहे. तुम्हाला अशी मान्यवर लोक भेटणार आहेत की जी त्याला खूप चांगला माणूस आहे असं म्हणणार आहेत. तो आता जो एक तुरुंगात गेलाय त्याच्याबद्दल लोक असं म्हणतात खूप चांगला माणूस होता. सो त्या अर्थाने यू आर ऑलवेज गोइंग टू हॅव यू आर गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू टू लिव्ह विथ दिस प्रॉब्लेम. पण why does this problem in the first place emerge? The problem in the first place emerges on account of the fact that India has entered into a realm of the economy की ज्याच्यामध्ये the government is the final authority making decisions regarding the handing over of natural and national resources in a situation where the government doesn't have a good enough and sound enough idea of what should the price be at which this should be given. So coal blocks असेल, the scandal started off with this की you should have an auction them off to realize a better price. 2G असेल, the same charge. Okay, so the reason why this is time and again happening is because the best price can't be located, and the best price cannot be located in a situation कि ज्या situation मध्ये the number of market players is small and they can perfectly form a cartel between themselves. So ते एक cartel म्हणून जर शासनाशी डील करणार असतील तर ऑब्विसली त्या स्थितीमध्ये ते जी किंमत घेऊन तुमच्याशी नेगोशिएशन्सला येतात त्या किमतीला तुम्ही डील कसं करणार. म्हणजे त्याच्यात 4 जण आहेत, each one of them is quoting either the same price or a price that goes closer to it. So you are obviously going to feel कि this is the best price. आता if that is the best price, you are always going to have a charge laid against you कि you have auctioned this off or you have given this off in a manner which appears to be completely wrong. पण मुळात प्रॉब्लेम असतोय की बेस्ट प्राइस ठरवायची कशी, ठरवायची कुणी. Obviously this calls in for wider consultations, this calls in for wider committees to be formed of people who would be expert as far as not just the resource is concerned, but even about the pricing and the marketing of the same is concerned. Is the government the best authority to do that? The government is not the best authority to do that. But everyone expects the government to do that. म्हणजे शासनाने हे करावं अशी सगळ्यांचं म्हणणं आहे, पण शासन हे करण्याची सगळ्यात अल्टिमेट अथॉरिटी आणि तिच्याकडे त्या प्रकारची एक्सपर्टीज आहे का, तर त्याचं उत्तर नाहीये. How does one deal with this situation? But we have been living with it, practically speaking, for the last 20 years. None of the countries that started liberalizing in the last 20 years after the fall of the Soviet Union have ever managed to stay clear of a decision की त्यांच्या प्रायव्हेटायझिंग नॅचरल रिसोर्सेसच्या जेवढ्याही स्कीम्स होत्या त्या सगळ्या स्कीम्स ट्रान्सपरंट अँड नॉन करप्ट होत्या. You would come across this problem in practically every single country. The only way by which you can stave off this problem is the government doesn't go about sharing these resources with anybody, monopolizes them and uses them at its own end in the public interest. Okay, so that's the only one thing that can be done with it, and that's the reason why I have that problem ki why doesn't AAP say we'll nationalize everything? सरळ म्हणावं ना, कारण आप तसं म्हणणार नाही. त्याला सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं कारण असं आहे की आप ज्या मोडमध्ये आहे, की ज्या मोड अँड मूडमध्ये आहे, तो मोड अँड मूड, आय डोंट नो अदर मेटाफोर कम्स टू माय माइंड अँड दॅट्स द रिझन वाय आय एम युझिंग इट. ती रामायणातली जी स्टोरी आहे की ज्याच्यामध्ये तो हनुमान लंकेला जातो पहिल्यांदा आणि लंका जाळून येतो. हां, सीता परत घेऊन येतो नाही, रावणाला हरवून येतो नाही, करून काय येतो तर लंका जाळून येतो. हां, आय हॅव ऑलवेज फेल्ट केजरीवाल इज इन दॅट मोड. आपल्याला काहीतरी करायचंय नाही, आपल्याला करायचं काय, जे आहे त्याला जाळायचंय तेवढंच करायचं. आपल्याला दुसरं काय करायचं नाही. आत्ताच्या घडीला दुसरं काही सुचतंय का की याच्यात आपण, मी नाही म्हटलं सरळ म्हण ना, नॅशनलाइज इट. हो, पण तुम्हाला माहित नाही सर, प्रॉब्लेम असा आहे, नॅशनलाइज म्हटलं ना की त्याच्यानंतर आपल्याला ते राबवायला लागणार, जबाबदारी आली. त्याच्यापेक्षा शेपटीला चिंधी बांधावी आणि गाव जाळत फिरावं हे सोपं आहे का नाही? हे करावं, हे कसं बेस? असं म्हणतं तर करायचं काय? काही आपल्याला कशाचीही जबाबदारी अंगावर घ्यायची नाही. आपल्याला फक्त करायचं काय, जिथं दिसल तिथं आग लावत फिरायचं. म्हण ना, विल नॅशनलाइज, विल क्रिएट अ होल वे ऑफ रनिंग दिस इकॉनॉमी ॲज अ नॅशनल इकॉनॉमी. तुला कोण फासावर चढवणार आहे? उलटा ऑन इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ वॉट एव्हर हॅज हॅपन्ड टिल डेट, यू वुड ऍक्च्युअली हॅव पीपल ऑफ इंडिया सपोर्टिंग यू फॉर दिस. असं म्हटलं की जबाबदारी इथे आपल्याला ते नाही ना करायचं, येते लक्षात. त्याच्यामुळे तो एक शहाणा की ज्याच्या नादाला लागूनच उपयोग नाही, कारण तो तुम्हाला कधी जाळेल याचा तुमचा नेम नाही. आणि हे चोर जाएंगे तो जाएंगे कहाँ, इज द कंडिशन इन विच यू आर, आणि दॅट्स द बॅकड्रॉप इन विच यू हॅव टू डिसाइड की एक्झॅक्टली तुम्हाला करायचं तर काय करायचं. Is RIL a profoundly corrupt institution? Yes. RIL business practices have always been very, very wrong and very, very bad. And ह्याच्याबद्दल there is no two ways about it. Does RIL lobby with the government? There is actually a short box in it. I don't know whether I would be able to quote it. पण एक असा भारी बॉक्स आहे की ज्याच्यामध्ये यू हॅव मुकेश अंबानी सेइंग दिस टू समबडी. आय डोंट नो, आय डोंट वॉन्ट टू लाईक साऊंड डिफेमेटरी अबाउट हिम और साऊंड इन एनी वे की तुम्हाला ना पटत नाही सर, चांगली माणसं आहे त्या देशामध्ये, तुम्हाला कुणाबद्दलही चांगलं बोलता येत नाही. माझ्याबद्दल इथे लोक असं म्हणतातच, आणि एवढा चांगला माणूस, हां एवढा धडाडीचा. RIL runs Jamnagar. It almost runs the city of Jamnagar. It has a major concern in it in terms of this whole thing that is called as the Jamnagar oil refineries. And they do a lot as far as that town is concerned. But this is good. I can start off with this. In the unauthorized biography, The Polyester Prince, this was one of the books which was banned. And The Polyester Prince, after a lot of effort, has finally managed to reach India. Written by the Australian journalist Hamish MacDonald, the founder of the Reliance Empire, Dhirubhai Ambani, was quoted as saying, "I don't break laws, I make laws." Who gave you the authority to do so? Nobody. कुणी नाही. आपण खासदार आहे का? नाही. आपण सरकार आहे का? नाही. आपण रामगोपाल वर्माची सरकार आहे का? ती पण नाही. पण then how do you appropriate to yourself, arrogate to yourself this right to make laws? And this is in the 1990s. Of course, this is an attitude with which he has lived throughout his life. This book was banned. They worked with the government of India to see to it that this book would never be easily available in India. आणि अर्थात तिचा प्रॉब्लेम असा होता की दिस वॉज अ अनऑथराइज्ड सॉर्ट ऑफ अ थिंग. You had MacDonald doing everything at his own end, talking to people and coming up with this biography. आता it is fairly available all over the place, कारण आता ते बॅनिंग करणं इतकं सोपं नाही आहे. पण I don't know, I'm not finding this anywhere over here, and I'll definitely find it. He says it in so many words की काँग्रेस आपली दुकान आहे. We are not worried about the Congress. We are worried about the others in terms of how do you manage the others in the political system. Okay? हे सगळं होण्याचं एक सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं कारण, as I would always say it and as I've always talked about it, starting from 1947, since we became free to date, the political and the economic systems in India have always been very closed down systems. की त्या अत्यंत एका अर्थाने बंदिस्त अशा प्रकारच्या आहेत. सत्ता ही त्यांच्यामध्ये सर्क्युलेट होत राहते आणि ती रेअरली त्याच्या बाहेर पडते. ओके, so problem is how do you get one big firm like Reliance dabbling in practically everything, whereas in an ideal situation what you should have is many more firms of this type, and there's an entire nexus at all ends, at every single end. Most of the time they work with government, as I think MacDonald has chapters upon chapters for it, ki how exactly did Dhirubhai Ambani in the early 1980s, this was the time when we had come out of that emergency wala experience. This was the first government, this was the first time that Mrs. Gandhi came to power after the emergency. It was the 1980 government, and at that point of time the Congress came up with a plan ki what has to be done is we have got to cultivate a completely different section of Indian society as your permanent voters. We can no longer rely on the agricultural elites to deliver us power, because they have failed to deliver us power in 1977. Manun in the 1980s, the 1980 period would start off with this. So if you look at a well-written history of the Indian reforms, it would actually talk about this, ki Indian reforms did not start in 1991. Systematic steps towards reforming the Indian economy were taken by the second Indira Gandhi government after the emergency. That's the first government of Mrs. Gandhi after the emergency, and even by the Rajiv Gandhi government. It's just that you have a precipitated crisis in 1991 which would speed up the pace of that entire business, and which would make this impossible for you to say this, that it would happen at our speed. You will have to work at the speed of the international lending agencies, and that's where the Indian reform story moves into a different track altogether. But technically speaking, Indian economic reform started off with the first election in 1980 itself, with the Congress bosses being convinced about this, कि what has to be done is you have got to cultivate a completely different section of Indian society in terms of your default voters. Okay, one way of doing that was the entire Maruti Suzuki business. The second way of doing that was to systematically move a number of Indian private firms away from the government towards a certain position of being economically and financially independent of the government. त्याच्यामध्ये एक मोठी फर्म जी येती is something called as the Dhirubhai Ambani businesses under different names. So you had Vimal as a textile arm, and then you had Reliance as the oil wala arm. And I don't want to go into all those details because that's like huge number of details. You please refer to the MacDonald book for it. MacDonald gives you a wonderful picture of how did Ambani, seated in Bombay, work with the Delhi bureaucrats to fix up the prices of a range of commodities. आणि thereby to fix up the prices of Reliance shares on the Bombay Stock Exchange. आणि एकदम systematically used to cultivate bureaucrats. If at some point of time he dealt off with a minister who stops the relationship between Reliance and the bureaucrats by shunting out the bureaucrats, transferring them, he used to go about doing the same activity with the new bureaucrats who have been placed into position. Okay, and you have some details of it as far as that guru वाला picture जो था ना, उसमें कुछ details उसके हैं, पर if you want more details, the best place to go to is the McDonald biography itself. की ज्याच्यामध्ये you will definitely find a large number of details की ते exactly कुणाकुणाशी deal करायचं, काय काय उद्योग करायचं, and this was supposed to be the best enterprise as far as modern India is concerned. कि जिसकी बुनियाद ही एक तरह से was based on something that is called as perfectly wrong ways of doing business. At a point of time कि ज्यावेळेला you don't have the information revolution, information is not available that readily, information becomes the most scarce commodity in which you deal with, and having information actually gives you an edge when it comes to operating on the market. So when it comes to how do you operate on the Bombay Stock Exchange, the person who has the best information in terms of how our government policy is going to change, mold itself, would be the one who would make a killing on the market. Okay, and how does he know about it? Plain and simple, because he has gone about cultivating a whole generation of bureaucrats at the lower level, at the intermediate level. Rarely he used to deal with people at the higher levels, but he did deal with people at the higher levels. Okay, and he kept on doing this so long as he was alive, thereby making Reliance the sort of firm that it is. So I don't know how do you respect a firm like that, which right from the word go has been a very chore type of an organization. And I don't even know as to how do you dissociate that chori, which has been so inbuilt as far as the DNA of the organization itself is concerned. So मुक्या गेला आने आला काही फरक नाही पडणार, ते सगळेच चोर, कारण तो त्यांच्या ऑर्गनायझेशनल डीएनएचा भाग आहे. तो it's not like it's incumbent upon an individual, it's part of the organization's DNA itself, so you can't help it. आणि म्हणून मला परत ते वाईट वाटतं की अशा प्रकारची गोष्ट आहे ना, हिला दुरुस्त करण्याचा एकच मार्ग असतो, ब्रेक इट अप, स्प्लिट इट अप, नॅशनलाइज इट. काहीच प्रॉब्लेम नाही ना, पण आम्ही त्या फेज मध्येच नाही ना, आम्ही लंका दहन फेज मध्ये म्हटल्यावर आर वी गोइंग टू टॉक, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू टॉक ऑफ दॅट. पण वी आर गोइंग टू कीप ऑन गिव्हिंग यू वंडरफुल स्टोरीज अबाउट कोण कुणाकडे काय बोलतो, कोण कुणाशी काय कुणाला काय सांगतो, तो त्याला कुठं भेटला, ती त्याला कुठं भेटली, राडिया टेक्स मध्ये काय आहे, ह्याच्यात काय, सगळं बरोबर आहे ना. वी नो दॅट देयर इज अ नेक्सस बिटवीन देम, वी नो दॅट देयर इज अ रिझन फॉर दॅट नेक्सस. The question, as I don't want to quote Marx here, but the question always would go back to it, ki we know how the world works, the question is how do you change it? Do you have a plan for that? FIR. A man who spent 49 days breaking the law by edging the police to conduct home searches without warrants goes up in ash by registering an FIR. किती महान आहे का नाही तो बघा. मी ज्यांना ज्यांना असं वाटतं की अरविंद केजरीवाल इज द नेक्स्ट जीसस क्राइस्ट ऑफ इंडिया, he is going to land the whole country in trouble, whole country, if at all you get him to play around with it. वो अभी दिल्ली चला के आया, वो पूरे देश को जान लेने वाला है. So लंका दहन ऑन अ लार्जर जॉग्राफी ने ज्या माणसांनी तो पोलिसांना जाऊन सांगतो की तुम्ही ना काय करा, तुम्ही मी सांगतो तुम्हाला, तर त्याला तुम्ही वॉरंट द्या, मला तुम्हाला रिटर्न ऑर्डर द्या, तुम्ही जा, यू रेड दॅम. आणि आर एम्ब्लेम ऑफ मार्टिडम इज आय रजिस्टर्ड एन FIR अगेन्स्ट RIL. वाव, हिअर आय प्लेड बाय द लॉ, देअर आय डोंट प्ले बाय द लॉ. सो जिथं मला सोयीचं असेल तिथं मी हे करणार, जिथं मला सोयीचं नसेल तिथं मी ते करणार. का? मला सेफ्टी आहे ना. Beware. Election season 2014, 3 years from now, this country is supposed to be 70 years old after independence. I've never seen a country moving towards 70 acting in that childish and immature way. Yeah, lovely situation, beautiful situation. Because my sole concern is जिथं जिथं प्रायव्हेटायझेशन हे अनड्युली शासन विरोधी गेलं, रशिया इज अ क्लासिकल केस. पुतीननी सत्तेत आल्या आल्या ती मिखाईल खोदरकोव्स्कीची जी तेलाची ऑर्गनायझेशन होती ती मोडीत काढली आणि ती तिच्या सगळ्या ऑइल फील्ड्स नॅशनलाइज केली आणि त्याला तुरुंगात पाठवलं. तर सोची ऑलिम्पिकच्या वेळेला त्याला सोडला, त्याला प्लेनमध्ये बसवलं आणि त्याला देशाच्या बाहेर काढलं. माझी तेलाची रिफायनरी परत देतो, बिलकुल नाही, तू पहिला बाहेर. त्यांची स्टोरी ऑफ कॅपिटलिझम स्टार्टेड विथ यू इन 1991 when the Soviet Union got away. Didn't they do it? Why can't we do it? Why shouldn't we do it? But capitalism is a default system that we have accepted, no? So तो म्हणतो ना capitalism, yes. Crony capitalism, no. But the problem is the Indian story of capitalism post 1991 is a story of crony capitalism. If you look at the list of the number of millionaires, of the number of people with wealth that have been generated in the last 20 years, practically all of them have their roots in the period before the 1990s. How many new people did you manage to generate? And please don't tell me about Dickey. Please, let's not get started on, look at Dickey, didn't we have millionaires? No, that's not. In a country as large as India, can you have a couple of 10 and 15 people to finally give you this idea की नाही सगळं आलबेल आहे, हे काही इतकंही वाईट नाहीये. या कथेमध्ये अजून अनेक प्रकारच्या अशा एकदम आशावादी स्टोरीज निर्माण व्हायला स्पेस आहे. पण जिथं तुमच्याकडे 15 दलित बिलियनर्स आहेत किंवा मिलियनर्स आहेत, तिथं यू हॅव पीपल लाईक द अंबानीज whose wealth in that same period of 20 years has multiplied by a factor of God knows what. And who gets to share that wealth? Nobody. तो 56 इंच येतो, गावभर सांगतो की यांनी सगळं 10 वर्षात बुडवलं. त्याच्या राज्यामध्ये they have been conducting this oil refinery. You should have some very simple common sense. Na oil refinery of the Jamnagar variety doesn't generate jobs. Gujarat has been a story of jobless growth. And the more you focus on these types of things, they are all stories of jobless growth. You don't need a large number of people to run an oil refinery. Oil refineries worldwide work on the principle of a completely automated process. Workers get into the picture if things go wrong. And त्याही केसमध्ये you actually need if there is any process fault, they have their own mechanisms to set it right as far as the machines are concerned. If at all that doesn't work, it's then that the workers come into the play. So I don't know, when you look at a story like that, where exactly does one look at a process of job creation? And these are the sorts of stories that we are going to sell off in this country. तो आला काय नाही आला काय, there are no, they should talk in terms of how are they going to generate jobs. The Gujarat model of the last 10 years is of jobless growth, perfectly jobless growth, and becomes all the more terrible on account of all these types of SEZs which are coming up, ज्याच्यामध्ये large amounts of lands belonging to farmers have been acquired. पण त्यांचा प्रॉब्लेम, पण त्यांना पैसे मिळतात, तुम्हाला काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे? सो दे आर बेनिफिटिंग. देयर इज नो रिझन वाय यू शुड हॅव एन हार्ट बर्न. When you look at, there are a range of stories in this related to the SEZ वाला thing, की ज्याच्यात तो येणारा पैसा is a one time money that is going to come to you, and especially to communities that for long ages have been deprived. A one time amount that comes that way equally gets spent very speedily. And then what are you left with? Your being unskilled continues, your being without access to credit continues, Everybody in this country has this problem in terms of accessing credit. Companies like Reliance that keep on defaulting never have a problem in terms of accessing credit. Because you will have public sector banks putting up rescue packages as far as loans going bad with companies like Reliance is concerned. If their loan is going bad, it's the responsibility of the lender to see to it that the loan will not go bad. How do you go about doing that? Put in more money. I don't know. When I look at all of that, you have a lot being said by the left people in this की Reliance कशी चोर आहे, Reliance कशी यावे, Reliance कशी त्यावे, आणि हे सगळं there's a collusion between the bureaucracy, the political class and the business class. But I don't see the left making an argument about a more democratic capitalism. When in power, you inevitably have to do it. So you should have been the pioneers in terms of how can you broad base the basis of capitalism in India itself, and there's such a space for doing that. But instead of talking in terms of how do you broad base it, त्याचे तुम्ही जे सोशल बेसिस आणि पाया आहे तो तुम्ही विस्तीर्ण कसा करत जाणार, त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही विस्तार कसा घडवत जाणार. आमच्या अजूनही पॉलिसी ही आमच्यासाठी फॉर द सीपीएम और द सीपीआय इन इंडिया इट सीम्स की मॉस्को अजूनही इज अ प्लेस विच हॅज अ रेड स्टार ओव्हर इट. अजूनही द क्रेमलिन पॉसिबली हॅज अ रेड स्टार ओव्हर दॅट फॉर देम की हा अजून पण सगळं अलबेल या जगामध्ये. I don't see them making an argument for it, whereas they should have been in the forefront of making this argument ki how do you broad base economic democracy in this country. You need more entrepreneurs, you need more people who can have more startups, having more access to institutionalized credit. You've got to talk about that. Somebody has got to talk about it. You're already in the 23rd year, 24th year of those reforms. Now you can't play that game ki करावं नाही करावं. जे काही करायचे ते होऊन गेलेलं आहे. You can't pretend as if we are yet at the end of 1991 wherein we are just deciding ki should we accept this, shouldn't we accept it. When they behave in that manner, all that this becomes is a nice litany of plots which can be pieced together to form wonderful film scripts with which Reliance Industries would possibly bankroll them and give you wonderful films. Reliance Entertainment, you name it, we have a finger in it. Means you've got to regulate it. As one of those articles will point out, it's not about state capture, it's not about this that the state has been captured by people like the Reliances of the world. It's basically about state failure. The state has failed to regulate them, and in most of the cases the state has willfully failed to regulate them. कि ये नहीं हुआ है कि they have captured the state. That's not possible, and they can't even do it. But what has happened is along the way they have systematically failed to regulate these people. That failure benefited them at some point of time, and that's the reason why it was required and possibly was at some point of time or the other justified by them in a number of ways. But now when you have a huge clamoring for the system to undergo a certain sort of change, you can no longer talk of this ki we are not going to be concerned about it. You have stories upon stories of how does the government rush to the rescue of answering questions about Reliance in Parliament, and then you have an opposition which is so docile about this issue that it rarely puts up its head to raise uncomfortable questions regarding Reliance, thereby leading to a public perception कि नहीं वो दोनों भी जो है ना they are acting in cahoots with each other. And म्हणून as I said कि 2014 is no realistic choice if it says कि the UPA has to be replaced with 56. This is no choice. ये choice ही नहीं है ऐसा मेरा मानना है. क्योंकि at no point of time is it different from the dispensation in government. At the most he is worse than that. Worst. Because if you look at the Adanis and the Ambanis in Gujarat in the last 10 years, 12 years since he has been chief minister, it's a story of how the state has been completely bankrupted for the purposes of these two people. I don't know. I wouldn't have had said so much. I don't even grudge that. ठीक आहे, ती काय, I don't want to sound nonsense, पण असतं थोडा मोठ्यांनी जसं पूर्वी सांगितलेलं होतं, ज्याचं जे नशीब आहे तो ते खाणार. तुम्हाला किती वाईट वाटतो, तुम्हाला किती चांगलं वाटतो, त्याचं नशीब होतं, त्यांनी खाल्लं. दो आय डोंट सबस्क्राईब टू एनिथिंग ऑफ इट. कारण हे असं म्हणणं वॉज अ वे ऑफ सेइंग दिस दॅट लेट्स रिटेन द प्रेझेंट स्ट्रक्चर्स ऑफ पॉवर, लेट्स नॉट फिडल विथ देम, आणि लेट्स प्रिटेंड दॅट एव्हरीथिंग इज गुड अँड वेल विथ द वर्ल्ड. The problem fundamentally is Reliance is a brain dead business, completely brain dead. I would have loved to see a billionaire of this variety who possibly was someone who has innovated something, okay, a product, a business process, something कि जिसमें कुछ एक लेवल का इनोवेशन गया है. And that's the reason why I would accept कि yes, you do have a right to profiteer out of your innovation, because you have actually used brains for it, you have actually used some human effort for it. आखातात नाही येणारं क्रूड तेल रिफाईन करायचं, ह्याला अक्कल काय लागती? The technology for it is available in world markets all over the place. All that you have got to do is buy it, install it, let the input pipe open up, let the output pipe open out. End of the story. काय करतो तो रेडा? काहीच नाही करत ना. That's one of the reasons why I feel so bad की नॅचरल रिसोर्सेस हे किफायतशीर किमतीला मिळवावे, त्यांच्यावरती काहीतरी प्रक्रिया कराव्यात आणि त्यात चढ्या किमतींनी बाजारांमध्ये विकावेत, कारण आपल्या बाजारांमध्ये विकत असताना मोनोपोली आहे. Such a 18th century American exploitative model of capitalism. It's so third rate. In the 21st century we tolerate bulls of this type just because of the fact that nobody wants to sacrifice them. हे असले रेडे कापून खातात तिकडं, ते करायला पाहिजे तसं. लिटरली शब्दार्थ घेऊ नका, तो काय चवदार लागणार नाहीये. भान गलिच्छ गुणीकडाचा तो. I am talking in the metaphorical sense of the term. Even the Americans have a system wherein monopolies, after a point of time, when they start profiteering in a manner which is undue, can be broken up by the law. म्हणजे एंटायर लॉज ॲज फार एज युनायटेड स्टेट्स इज कन्सर्न की ज्याच्यामध्ये अशा प्रकारची मोनोपोली ज्याला डेव्हलप व्हायला लागते की ज्याच्यामध्ये यू हॅव द लार्जर पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट बीन शंटेड आउट इन अन अनड्यू मॅनर, यू कॅन ॲक्च्युअली गो अबाउट ब्रेकिंग अप दॅट मोनोपोली. And we are the strangest country on the face of this earth which has let them grow for the last 20 years. No innovation, practically nothing in terms of any modern practices of doing business, any modern practices in terms of doing something. The last new thing that they did was, वो Reliance Fresh के counters से, those malls which sold all those Reliance Fresh वाले items, they took away the meat counters and stopped selling meat because it offends religious काय values का काहीतरी. But besides that, so it's such a non-exclusive, it's such a non-inclusive sort of business that we are talking of in India. And it's high time that, given the fact that the case has been made in so clear black and white all over the place, that you just push a case for, yes, we would split this up, we would nationalize it, we would institute a very systematic audit of everything that has happened as far as this business is concerned. And there are obvious repercussions of the same. Anyone who takes that position cannot only take this position about them, he will have to take this position about practically every other single business in India which has grown to the same extent and with the same way, in the same manner over the last 20 years. But if anyone in this country believes you can have a politically clean and non-corrupt system with an economic system which can continue with business as usual, I don't know, is possibly living in Alice in Wonderland. कि अगर आपका मानना ये है कि मई 2014 के बाद we are going to get a perfectly clean political system and the economic system can continue in the way in which it is because there is hardly any problem with it. ये 20 साल का जो पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम है आपका, इसका बेसिस, इसका मटेरियल बेस जो है वो ये 20 साल वाला इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम है. They are intertwined and integrated with each other. You can't clean up one by saying let's leave the other intact. You want to clean up one, you inevitably have to talk about how are you going to go about dealing with the other one. And that's the reason why I feel this very terrible कि you start off with an issue, you don't take it to its logical conclusion, you just stop in between saying this, that, nahi, everybody is corrupt. That's old story, we know everybody is corrupt in this place. They at least tried at that level. मैं हे मान्य की बाबा नॅशनल इनोव्हेशन काउन्सिल नावाची संस्था एस्टॅब्लिश करून लोक इनोव्हेट नाही करत आणि नाही होत असं काही, पण गेल्या 10 वर्षात त्यांनी तो प्रयत्न केला की लेट देयर बी अ काउन्सिल विच वुड गो अबाउट प्रमोटिंग इनोव्हेशन इन दिस कंट्री, लेट देयर बी अ काउन्सिल विच वुड गो अबाउट प्रमोटिंग अ रेंज ऑफ न्यू क्रिएटिव्ह आयडियाज इन दिस कंट्री. अशा प्रकारच्या शासकीय समित्यांच्या माध्यमातून असं होतं असातला भाग नाही, पण कमीत कमी ते फॅसिलिटेट तरी करता येतं. I don't know, मतलब we have a very lovely idea in this country कि it's only the political class which is completely corrupt and it's only they who need to be mauled at an election and everything is going to take care of itself. It's not going to take care of itself. So long as you don't talk of what are you going to do with this economic order, कारण ही economic order जी आहे ना, ही economic order जबाबदारी तुमच्या गेल्या 20 वर्षाच्या राजकारणाच्या पट आणि पॅटर्नला. Why did you get the sort of politics which you got over the last 20 years? Precisely because you had this sort of economic order. One way, as people have always said, we are a country in transition. We are not a country of the American variety. So for God's sake, don't compare us with Europe or with America. We are in a mode wherein we are yet experimenting with things. We are yet on a learning curve. We are learning things. So it's going to take us time. We are barely there. It's like barely 25 साल भी नहीं हुए. So in flat 25 years to come up with foolproof default sort of mechanisms which will deal with everything going wrong is not going to happen. It's going to take time. But I believe even the gestation period needs to be regulated. No? Yes, it is taking time. Nobody wants to deny that. It is going to take time. But at the same time, जसं त्या इकॉनॉमिक ग्रोथचा एक कर्व आहे, त्या इकॉनॉमिक ग्रोथचा एक पॅटर्न आहे, तसा एक रेग्युलेशनचा पण पॅटर्न असणं गरजेचं आहे ना. नो वन इज सेइंग की वी इमिजिएटली वॉन्ट इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स ऑफ दॅट टाइप, कारण इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स हे इव्हॉल्विंग स्ट्रक्चर असतात. इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स फुल प्रूफ वेल बिल्ट विथ देअर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन्स विथ देअर रूल्स अँड प्रोसिजर्स वरनं पडत नाही. इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स इव्हॉल्व्ह होत जातात. But have we shown any intention of moving towards those types of institutions, towards those types of regulatory mechanisms? No, for a simple reason, because as far as the media fed, the media educated and the media informed Indian middle class is concerned, institutional clarity, institutional reform का agent जो है ना वो politician है. Because the media has taught us to believe in this कि what you have got to focus on is the politician. As a politician is a figure of great preeminence in this entire situation, nobody denies that, but is hardly the agency doing it. When you have so much around him in terms of the bureaucracy, in terms of firms like Reliance who spend a huge amount of money lobbying for their interest, who spent a huge amount of money creating positive public perceptions regarding their interests. You can imagine, I don't know if anyone of you seeing it has even thought about this, कि CNN, IBM is actually taken over by Mukesh Ambani. And the reason why they are speaking that language is precisely because RIL has already made a decision. The best thing that can happen to us in 2014, A, the house should not get hanged. It should not at all get hanged. We need a clear, decisive mandate. Howsoever brief it might be, म्हणजे 274 असो 273 असो, पण it should be in the 270s. So the house should not get hanged. आणि ते 272 कुणाच्या पत्रात पडावेत? छापण्या. जो आमच्या लेवलला डिसिजन झालेला आहे. We are systematically creating an atmosphere for it through all the regional media that we control, through all the national media that we control, through all the social media that we control, and we are doing everything possible to make it seem that this is a decision of the people of India and this is a default natural decision that the people of India have made. The people of India have decided nothing. आणि आमच्या निर्णयाचा पाया काय असतो? 15,000. आमचं पोलिंग सर्वे 15,000, 50,000, 81 कोटी मतदार आहेत. 81 कोटी. The election commission is preparing for 810 million voters to vote in those 5 weeks. आणि त्या 81 कोटीचा डिसिजन 50,000 ठरवलंय. कोण 50,000? Where do they come from? Half the time they don't come from anything. They come from हमारे दिमाग की उपज है कि ऐसे 50,000 लोग हैं कि जिनको हमने कंसल्ट किया है, जिन्होंने हमको बोला है कि this is what we are looking forward for in the month of May. And why are you doing that? Because he is the best bet as far as business is concerned. Is anyone in India talking about that? Sad, completely sad. Capitalism, as I was saying it in one of my earlier classes, begins off with what is called as the fencing of the commons. So अशा सगळ्या प्रकारच्या गोष्टी की ज्या समुदायाची संपत्ती किंवा समुदायाची मत्ता असलेल्या वस्तू असतात, या गोष्टींमध्ये तुकडे पाडत जाणे, त्या तुकड्यांवरती आपली मालकी आणि अधिकार गाजवत जाणे is the way by which you start off with something called as capitalism. When a capitalist starts off, they don't start off with wealth. They hardly have anything of it. आता ते तुकडे जे तुम्ही पाडत गेलेले आहात आणि त्या तुकड्यांवरती तुम्ही तुमची जी अधिकार आणि सत्ता गाजवत आहात, ती सत्ता तुम्ही गाजवणार कशाच्या बेसिसवरती? तर मुळात हा जमिनीचा तुकडा, याच्यामध्ये या जमिनीच्या खाली असलेल्या सगळ्या खनिजाच्या खाणी, या जमिनीच्या वरती असलेले सगळे पाण्याचे स्रोत हे माझ्या मालकीचे असणार आहे. हे तुला कोणी सांगितलं? तर हा माझा अधिकार मेंटेन करण्यासाठी आय नीड समथिंग कॉल्ड एज अ स्टेट. म्हणजे इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस कॅपिटलिझम बिगिन्स ऑन अ नोट ऑफ बीइंग क्रूनी इटसेल्फ. सो ते असं नसतं की पहिल्यांदा एक स्वच्छ निर्भय भांडवली पहाट झाली आणि त्याच्यानंतर ते संध्याकाळ होत होत त्याच्यामध्ये काळ रात्र होत गेली. नाही, असं नाही होत. ती पहाट म्हणून जे काही आभास दिसतोय ना, तो रात्रीतनं झालेला आहे. Does capitalism get up in the morning? No, it gets up at night itself. आणि भारतीय केसमध्ये तर ते परमनंटली प्रॉब्लेमॅटिक आहे ॲट ऑल लेवल्स अँड ॲट ऑल एंड्स. कारण आमची जुनीच समज आहे ना की राजसत्ता जी असते ती क्षत्रियाची असते, धनसत्ता जी असते ती वैश्याची असते. त्याच्यामुळे कसे परफेक्टली डिमार्केटेड एरियाज आहेत. तुम्ही आमच्या एरियामध्ये दखल द्यायची नाही, आम्ही तुमच्या एरियामध्ये दखल द्यायची नाही, मात्र परस्पर पूरक भूमिका की आपण आपल्या सत्तेचं वर्चस्व बाकीच्यांच्या तुलनेने मेंटेन करण्यासाठी सतत प्रयत्नशील राहायचं. And that's what they go about doing. So it starts off by fencing the commons. It starts off by depriving communities of their control over resources and creating legal regimes, which most of the time are called as legal myths, which says this that this belongs to Mr. So and so. आणि तो कायम मिस्टरच असतो. तो कायम ही इज परमनंटली अ मिस्टर. कॅपिटलिझम ॲज अ जेंडर, इट हॅज अ जेंडर, इट्स मेल. समजतंय का? हे तिघही 3 बैल आणि मागं पण एक बैल आहे. He has a wife who is so weird. I don't want to sound bad and bitchy about it, but she's so dead weird. She's a 50-year-old woman who possibly goes in for a lot of therapy which involves all manner of narcotic substances, of the cocaine drop and those varieties, to look someone who is possibly in her mid-20s. She seriously does that. मैं मेरा पदर से रंगत नहीं है. She's so dangerous to look at. Most of the time when I look at her, it reminds me of someone who is dead and someone who is roaming about like a ghost. Man, you're 50, you should appear 50, na? When you're 50, if you move around as someone who is barely 25 years old, isn't that ghostly? It is ghostly. मला तरी असं वाटतं की it is ghostly. And of course, most of those treatments are extremely costly. Sources of consumption, ठीक आहे. It's the only firm in India which has the stingiest record in terms of CSR. Stingiest. Half the time, the schools which it has gone about starting, which work on a for-profit basis, is what Reliance keeps on informing its investors as places which are working for CSR. Now the stingiest, it's the only firm in India of all the big firms जी तिच्या एकंदरीत वार्षिक उत्पन्नातला मुश्किल से 1.2 किंवा 1.3% हा सोशल कॉजेस वरती स्पेंड करते. पैसे जातात कुठं? बरं, आता तर यू नीड नॉट गो अबाउट ब्राइबिंग पीपल एज यू हॅड टू डू इन द लायसन्स राज का जमाना, की जिथं इन्फॉर्मेशन वॉज द सेक्रेड थिंग विच हॅड टू बी हेल्ड ऑन टू and had to be fenced off from all sides. आता you are anyway living in a regime where information is available so freely. So one could have understood at that point of time, yes, you were using money for bribing people. What are you now using the information? What are you now using the money for? It's terrible when you look at this. Extremely terrible, very unsettling. And becomes all the more terrible because nobody is in a mood to ask the right question. कि इसका करना क्या है. It starts off with ह्याचे रिसोर्सेस पकडा, त्याचे रिसोर्सेस, याच्याकडे जमीन आहे का ती घ्या, त्याच्याकडे काय का ते घ्या, आपला बोर्ड लावून टाका, कुंपण घाला आणि करा डिक्लेअर आपली जमीन आहे म्हणून. आणि त्रास द्यायला आले सेक्शन 124 ऑफ द पिनल कोड. हा ब्रिटिश पिनल कोड एक एकदम सुंदर वस्तू आहे ना आपल्याकडे असलेली. Clamp them with all those sections, put them behind bars, and go searching out for somebody who's going to protect your interests. I don't know, it's scary. It's perfectly scary. It's all the more scary because it's a disgusting organization to talk of. Very disgusting. In the best of situations, I would never even broach a topic about them. But just because of the fact that they are on the cover, one has got to talk about them. Don't know. I recommend this to you after this. I'm not much to add to it. And most of the stories, other than painting very lurid pictures of all manner of details regarding how the firm has gone about benefiting and profiteering in the most crassiest manner by dealing with government officials, do nothing to add or to contribute कि किस तरह से इसके बारे में सोचना चाहिए. मी तर त्याच्याकडे परमनंटली बघताना असंच बघणार की बाबा, इफ यू कम फ्रॉम इंडियन सोसायटी अँड इफ यू आर लोकेटेड ॲट दॅट सर्टन अँगल इन विच यू आर ॲज दे वुड बी, you possibly do not have the capacity or the inclination for hard work, for brainy work. Look at American capitalists, goddamn. They exploitative नव्हते अशातला भाग नाही. They completely exploitative होते. When you look at the stories of the 19th century, and people started with something, inventing a phone, inventing a bulb, inventing a car, inventing something or the other. You look at them even now, the amount of time that they spend, you would rarely come across a Western firm कि ज्याचा CEO is not interested in the business processes that the organization is involved in. Now most of the CEOs of most of these firms are people who have या बैलाला कशा डिग्रीज आहेत तसल्या डिग्रीज नाही. बैलाला डिग्रीज आहेत, पण त्याला डिग्रीज आहेत कारण बापाची ऐपत होती. कुठं पण जाऊन काही पण खरेदी करून घ्या आमच्या पोराला त्याच्यात. So it's a very Middle Eastern type of idea of how the Ambani children have grown up and how they have got educated. They are not people, त्यांना अक्कल नावाचा प्रकारच नाही आणि त्यांना असू पण शकत नाही. They can never have that. वो अपनी सारी जिंदगी भी कोशिश किया ना तो भी कुछ नहीं होगा. When you look at most Western firms, look at their CEOs, look at the people who direct those firms, look at the amount of time that they spent in terms of thinking in terms of how do you innovate it. You know, people even now, after most of these firms have been well established for more than a century, actually going out and working on the production lines in terms of thinking as to what can the next big design, the next big model, the next big product be. And मग you feel की नाही ठीक आहे ते exploitative जरी असले ना तरी you feel like doffing an hat to them की कम से कम they are doing something. पर इधर क्या चल रहा है? क्रिकेट टीम खरेदी करतो. किती बिंडो कसा होणार माणसाने या जगात? क्रिकेट टीम जिथे जाऊन त्या हॉटेलमध्ये बसायचं आणि ते काय ते बोर्ड घेऊन बसायचं. हा ह्याची किंमत किती? मी घाण पण वाटत नाही की आपण जाऊन माणसं खरेदी करून येतो. मी ती किळसानी गोष्ट आहे का नाही? पण आता खरेदी करायला पलीकडे भारतरत्न असेल तर काय हरकत आहे ना. म्हणजे डोंट थिंक अबाउट दिस दॅट दे आर इव्हिल अँड बॅड. द प्रॉब्लेम इज ऑन द अदर साइड यू हॅव पीपल हू आर रेडी टू प्ले दॅट इव्हिल. This is the worst thing of the whole story. I can't imagine this. म्हणजे ते सगळे त्याचे काय IPL चे ऑप्शन्स असतात ना, they literally remind me of the southern United States of the 17th, 18th centuries when the farm owners used to go and buy slaves. पाय दाखव, चांगला आहे का? पळेल किती? It's that disgusting. आणि जो मनुष्य असं करू शकतो ते साधन युनायटेड स्टेट्स मधले ते जे काही ते पूर्वीचे रॅन्च ओनर्स आणि ती सगळी मंडळी होती ना, तो व्हाईट काय त्याला आपण म्हणतो प्रॉपर्टी क्लास ऑफ दोज ग्रेट पेझंट्स, त्याच्यातनं निर्माण होणारी महान गोष्ट काय असू शकते? जॉर्ज बुश. त्यांना किती ती अक्कल असती? हे तसलंच आहे. At the most of them who could write better went up and became great authors and novelists and all of that. But the white agrarian class, the white landowning and slave owning class of the southern United States, after a point of time ceased to produce anything of merit. Nothing. आता ते काय नाही, आता ते बायबल वाचतात, ते बराक ओबामाला शिव्या घालतात, तो कसा व्हेजिटेरियन आणि बटाटा खाणारा माणूस आहे आणि आम्ही कसे ऑथेंटिक अमेरिकन्स आहोत कारण वी लव्ह टू ईट स्टीक बर्गर. त्यांना फार त्यांचं IQ एका लेवलच्या पलीकडे काही नसते. हे तसलंच प्रकरण. नेव्हर बाय रिलायन्स शेअर्स. दे नेव्हर गोइंग टू लेट यू लिव्ह इन पीस विथ इट. सिरियसली. And I'm not making this an ethical position. I'm making this a simple business proposition. They're never going to let you in peace with those shares until and unless they don't buy it back from you. They keep on hounding you to get back that. कारण they have that very strange investing model की ज्याच्यामध्ये the money always circulates within the organization and rarely leaves it. म्हणजे no end. CSR not even worth mentioning. Shareholding class is a complete question mark in terms of exactly कोण लोक आहेत आणि how have they gone about benefiting out of all of this. It's a completely non-democratic sort of an organization, completely non-democratic. जेव्हा की shareholding pattern जो आहे of capitalist development essentially is a pattern which is supposed to improve and deepen economic democracy and political democracy by actually establishing and furthering the causes of a middle class. इधर तो वो भी नजर नहीं आता है. म्हणून मला नाही माहिती, इट्स लाइक अ व्हेरी टेरेबल, मतलब I actually feel very amazed about myself कि I could keep on speaking so much about such a pointless thing, which I would rarely do. म्हणजे I would almost in some other situation, हे हितं नसतं ना, I would almost have it dismissed it by saying की no reason why I should talk about it. I don't talk about disgusting things. तर तिथं आहे, बोलायला लागतंय म्हणून, आणि I am amazed at myself की I could speak so much about it. So I can't continue in that same vein for a longer time. So I'll recommend this back to you, and you can come up with your questions, issues, comments, whatever you have got to make about the same.